the two of each species. Hold my arms got room, feel like Noah floating across the universe. MJ walks on earth like Buzz Aldrin's crew. I'm on my way to Mars and y'all should come too. Yeah. I wanna go real far, way above the stars, to Jupiter or Mars. Yeah. The 7,000 is here, so you shouldn't fear. It's future to your ears, that's the truth getting clear. No matter who should appear, make a proof disappear. Cause what we shoot the gift, what we shoot from the spirit, yeah.
Hey everyone, it's Kim Barnes Jefferson here of the Fabulous Fit Squad, and I want to first gotta set my timer because that keeps me on track. So there we go. I want to welcome you. It's the first show for me of 2018. So welcome, Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, Festivus, whatever you celebrate, all of that, merry, happy, and bright. I work with women who are looking to break free of the diet mindset so they can live a life of balance, peace, and harmony. So today I wanted to talk about persistence because here we are, we're 9 days into 2018. And I'm sure all of us sat down and wrote goals, we wrote resolutions, intentions, words that we're going to live by, all that good stuff. We wrote all of that and we're feeling really good. We're 9 days in and we're like, yeah, I'm crushing it. I feel amazing. Things are really happening. But I've been in the fitness industry for over a decade. And what I've seen is this, we have all this like vim and vigor, and we're like rocking it, we're crushing it. And then I say roughly at the end of January, I see, say there's 100 people at the gym. I say the end of January, it turns into like 90 people. Then I see, the next week, it's now 80 people. Then it's 70 people. And by the time we hit Christmas break, it's like half the New Year's resolutioners, they've gone out the door. They're not there crushing their goals. They're not there doing it every single week. They're not coming to group fitness classes. They're not out on the gym floor. They're canceling training sessions. And what I have to tell you is, how do you persist? How do you keep going when it gets hard? How do you keep going when, Mother Nature dumps 18 inches of snow on you? How do you keep going when we had, almost 8 days of bitter cold and the thought of leaving your house was just not even a thought? How do you persist? And that's what I really want to talk about. Is how do you stick with it when you feel like giving up? And I'm gonna ask you to bear with me because so many times people will say, oh, just put your heart into it, just put your back into it. Ice Cube has that song, you can do it if you put your back into it, right? But how many times have you put the hustle on it, put your back into it, and it didn't work out? And then you're more pissed off because you're I put in so much effort, I put in so much time, and I got nothing to show for my results. So how do you keep going? And one of the biggest things is when I start working with clients and or I'm just reading things on social media or I'm overhearing things in the bathroom from women at the gym. The biggest thing where I see people get shut down is that they lack clarity. They are not clear about what it is they want. And they're not clear about how long it's going to take for them to get it. And they're not clear about the efforts that they need to take in order to make it. We live in a society where I could pull up a web page in 2.2 seconds. And if it takes 2.9 seconds, I'm like, what's wrong with this machine? It sucks. Or, if I don't get an instantaneous response, I'm done. And surveys are showing that our attention spans are going down and down and down and down and down and down. So what I ask you guys is, how clear are you with your goal? And so what that means is, can you see what your goal is? When I close my eyes, the best way to help my clients get through this, what I'm talking about, is I say, we all plan vacations. We all have this like place that we want to go to or we're going to. So let's just pick Jamaica. So I'm going to close my eyes and I can see the turquoise water. I can see the beach. I can hear the surf. I can see 2 beach chairs. I can see the guy bringing me my daiquiri. I can see the hammocks. So I smell the suntan lotion. So I have all that visual cues. That's what you have to have for your goal. Like you have to see it. And I always, tell my clients, either right before you go to bed or right before you wake up, that's when our brain is in kind of in this murky place where it's not really sure what's real and what's real and what's fiction. And I say that's when you start to really think about and visualize your number one goal. And so if your number one goal is to be on that beach in Jamaica, you feel it. And then during your waking hours, you're looking for evidence to help move that forward. So the same thing could be if I wanted to lose 20 pounds. Now, I want to be clear about it's 20 pounds that I want to lose. And I want to be clear about my time horizon. Now, I know that it's impossible for me to lose 20 pounds in 30 days unless I had something severely wrong with me. But I know if it's possible, I'm going to lose 20 pounds in 6 months, right? That way I know I'm not killing myself. That way I know I can make sure that I'm doing it the right way so that after I drop those 20 pounds, they don't bring 20 pounds and then bring on some friends with them. And so the more specific you are, the more clear you are, the more clearly you define where you want to go, the more likely the more likely you are to get frustrated and pissed off 4 weeks down the line when you said, I want to lose 20 pounds in 4 weeks, and here you are only losing 5 pounds, and you're pissed, and you're like, this doesn't work. Then you kind of reset and say, you know what? I'm 5 pounds down, and I have 5 more months to go. If I keep doing what I'm doing the last 4 weeks, and I continue with the next 4 weeks, and I continue the next 4 weeks, and I continue the next 4 weeks, guess what? I'm going to hit my goal. And I have to tell you that success is boring. Everyone wants success to be this action movie where you magically see the pounds flying off of you and you magically just all this stuff you feel just amazing. That's not how it is. Success is boring. Success is consistency. So in the beginning, it's you finding your footing to what will make it consistent. And what I always see, this time of year is I see people, they're bringing their lunches in. It's the perfect lunch. And they're eating the perfect dinner. And, no wine, thank you. Oh, no cake, thank you. Oh, no. All the fun foods. And then at some point, they lose their stuff. And then it's well, if I've had this, I might as well have this. I might as well have that. And then you just do the snowball. Then you find yourself in a food stupor, in a corner, Frito bag stuffed to your face and wondering what the heck happened. So this is where I say the clearer I am with my goals, and I give myself latitude that it's not about this all or nothing thing. And this comes down to your mindset. If you believe that you can actually achieve your goal, you're willing to take the steps. You're willing to do the work to get there. But you have to believe that. And a lot of times I know, when I start working with clients, I have to be the belief. I have to be the person who is think about CPR. Someone breathes for you until you can breathe on your own. And sometimes I have to do that for my clients because they have been on umpteen diets, umpteen workout plans, umpteen plans, and they haven't seen success. And so what I need to do is show them it's possible. Show them that, it's one step at a time. And really help kind of recircuit how their brain is working with the right mindset. And that means you have to be coachable. That means that you have to be willing to open your heart, open your mind to doing things different. And I say that, and I say it in a loving way, because I always ask people, when there's resistance, when they, we have a conversation. It's, well, and here's some of the things that would work for you. What seems possible for you? Because it's not a dictatorship in our relationship. I'm going to mirror back what you've said to me, and I'm going to ask your opinion of ways that you can circumvent the pain you're in right now. And because I want this to be your plan. I don't want this to be something that you yes me to death. Because if you yes me to death, I know at some point you're just going to chuck it out the window and say you don't know. Ooh, excuse me. I've seen it before. It happens, and it is what it is. But you have to have the courage to be coachable. The courage to say, you know what? Someone else might know the better path. Because have you ever seen those? I know they're popular here in New England, so I don't know if they're popular other places, but they're like hedge mazes. And there's umpteen ways in and out of this maze. And I want you to think that there's someone who knows how to get through that maze as fast as possible. Versus you kind of going up and down every row, going left, going right, getting all twisted and turning around, and then you eventually just sit on the ground and give up until someone finds you. I want to be the guide to get you through that maze. And so in order to get the guide, you have to be willing to say, oh, she said go right. She said go left. She said, stay here for 10 seconds. Whatever it is, you have to be willing to be open and coachable to that, those possibilities. And, there's times that you want to throw in the towel. I get it. I've had those moments. I've had those wall-kicking moments where you're doing everything right and it's just not working, and you're just like, "Gosh darn it, maybe something stronger." But I always have to say, okay, I found a way. I have to reframe it. Again, it's my mindset. I have to reframe it. I said, okay, I went to the left. I found a way that's not the way to work. So sadly, sometimes I might have to backtrack my way back to the beginning. Or sometimes I have to make a left turn versus a right turn. But when I get to that kind of crossroad when things are just past the wine and the straw, I have to connect to why I'm doing it. I have to connect to this internal, I don't know if you saw the movie E.T., and in the movie, every time he gets happy, his heart glows. I have to get connected to where my heart glows. And so I always say to my clients, the first step is getting clear. You need that clarity. What do you want? Be super clear, super specific, what it is you want and when. The next step is connecting. I need to connect to it. I need to feel it inside so that I can when I visualize it, my body's just is having an out of body experience, because I'm yeah, when I get this, it's gonna be on. I can't wait. Oh my God. Think about when you see little kids and they're excited. That's the excitement. That's the connection you need to have about these goals, because that's what's going to keep you going when you have one of those days where you're just just stuff blows up, car breaks down, you're sick, kid's sick, dog sick, everything is just not going your way. It's you just sitting down and just closing your eyes and just reconnecting to that vision of where you want to be. For me, a lot of times, to get re-inspired, I use music, I use video. I'm a sucker for YouTube clips. I'll put a link in the show notes of all the YouTube clips that I like to watch. It's anything from Tony Robbins to Eric Thomas, hip hop preacher. Just a series of just things that I'm it just gets me fired up, gets me back in the game, that I'm I just don't want to quit. It's kind of I watched the scene where Rocky runs up the stairs and he's up and down cheering, just things like that, just to get me back into the mindset of I can do this. So it's like, close your eyes and think about that bigger picture. Like, what are you driving to? You know, when I first started doing a lot of mindset work, the woman who like really kind of helped like crack open my mindset, she always talked about California. You know, I live here in Boston, and you know, California is as far as I can go in the U.S. And so she's like, Kim, she's like, imagine going to California. Like, what do? You don't just get in the car and drive. You have a plan. You know how many hours a day you're gonna drive. You know if you're gonna take the north, the mid, or the southern route. You know the waypoints along the way. That's what life is. Like, you have to think about like whatever your goal is. You have to sit down and like map out the direction, because it's not just gonna magically happen. It's not like, oh my God, I'm gonna lose 20 pounds. You go to bed and oh my God, I'm 20 pounds down. Woo! It doesn't happen that way. It doesn't happen that way. So when you change that trajectory of your mindset, it affects so many different things. It affects your relationships, your career. You're a better mom. You're a better dad. You're just a better person all over, because you're able to. You're looking for possibilities versus looking for the poop on the carpet. And you're able to see a clear path. And you're able to say, okay, here's the path. I'm going to California. I'm going to Jamaica. And here are the steps that I need to go to get there. And, you know, one of the things that I always, it's great to be persistent. And trust me, I am like persistent. You know, I set my mind to it, and I set a goal. And when I set that goal, I say, okay, here are the first 3 steps I need to do. And sometimes that first step is just the plan. The first step is say, okay, so let's stick with weight loss. I want to lose 20 pounds in the next 6 months. Awesome. First 3 things that you know you need to do. And I always say, keep it simple. Like, if this is whole new territory for you, I don't want you saying, I'm going to the gym 20 hours a day, and then I'm doing this, and then, let's start small. So it's like, what do workouts look like for you? Okay, you got 30 minutes? Perfect. When are you going to do it? I'm going to work out on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Awesome. Are you going to go in the morning, at lunchtime, or in the evening? And it's like getting that detailed with a plan. I want you to think about like, if you were to ever put together furniture from IKEA, let's say. Other than getting those like crazy little like Allen wrenches, you get an instruction kit, and it says step 1, do blah. Step 2, do blah. Step 3. The same thing is happening for you too, where step 1 is like, okay, if I'm going to lose 20 pounds in 6 months, step 1, okay, I'm going to the gym, and I'm going to go 3 days a week, and I only got 15 minutes in me. Or maybe you are someone who doesn't really like the gym or doesn't like to exercise, so you're like, I'm going to do 15 minutes of dancing in my house. Awesome, great. Maybe it's like, you have an afternoon chip habit. You know that you eat after dinner. But here's the thing. You guys are educated. Everyone that I talk to, you have this litany of things that are not serving you. So what I always ask people is like, pick something that could be a little challenging, but doable to get rid of. So I had a client, she has a potato chip habit. Potato chip and Diet Coke, that's her thing. And it's now become a habit, because every day between 3 and 4 o'clock, she goes to the vending machine, she gets a Diet Coke, she gets a bag of chips, goes back to her desk, and that's her coping mechanism to get through the last few hours of work. So, we were like, how do we break that habit? Because it's a habit, it's not a need. No one's like, oh my God, I'm gonna die if I don't have any potato chips. I've never seen that death happen, but I'll let you know if I do. And if you've ever seen that death, hit me up. I want to know about this death. So now it was like, okay, let's disassociate potato chips and Diet Coke. So now I said, one day just get the Diet Coke, one day get the chips. One day Diet Coke, one day chips. So that one day we would just do nothing. Diet Coke, chips. Diet Coke, chips. 2 days, nothing, Diet Coke, chips, that. So that we're just kind of like confusing her brain, so it's not telling her, it's 4 o'clock, let's go get those chips. It's 4 o'clock, let's go get those chips. You know, so it's like, how do you break free of those patterns? And it's really kind of like looking through, you know, I always say people brainstorm. We all know the things. So when I first started to get healthier, I worked at a company and I was always in meetings and I couldn't eat. And I never brought my lunch because I was like, oh, I'll just run out quickly. And like, you know, the meeting inevitably would run over and then the cafeteria's closed or it was cold and it would go out. And we had a vending machine that was 25 cents and I would have $1. And I'm like, I'm the queen of Sheba. And I would go to the vending machine and literally like pick food and that's what I would have for lunch. At least I take 3 to 4 days a week. Then I said to myself, okay, that's one thing I know. I don't have lunch. So I said, I can always bring my lunch, or I can make sure I have something in my desk so that it's just a matter of me heating it up. So if it's having a can of soup in my desk, and all I have to do is just heat it up when those times come. And that was like, that little small change was huge. I was never standing in front of the vending machine again being like, I got $1, what do I do with it? So it's like, in order for me to be persistent, I have to come up with ways to make myself successful. Because we're really good at coming up with ways to make ourselves unsuccessful. We're really good at setting these goals this high. Like, oh, I'm going to go to the gym 7 days a week. You go to the gym 7 days a week, and then probably by, like I said, you know, the end of January, you're like, I'm tired, I'm sore, blah, 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 blah. Every excuse in the book, where if you said, I'm just going to go 3 days a week, 30 minutes, you might make it a little bit longer. And I know you'll make it a little bit longer. You know, that's one of the reasons why we quit. It's like we come out of the gate like a cannon. It's like, whoosh. And then we don't take the time to like do the slow and steady. You know, we all know the fable. Yeah, it's a fable. We all know that fable about the tortoise and the hare. You know, the tortoise was like, do 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 do, and the hare was like running circles and making fun of him and all this other stuff. But the hare still crossed the finish line. I'm sorry, the tortoise still crossed the finish line. So why do you feel like you need to have these results in 2.2 seconds? You know, I say to people, if you put on, let's just say you put on 40 pounds in 4 years, why would you lose 40 pounds in 4 minutes? It took you 4 years to put it on. Are you willing to give yourself at least 2 years to take it off? Because the time's going to pass anyway. So you might as well pass it doing it in an effective way so that you're not playing this game again. 40 pounds, 40 pounds, 40 pounds, 50 pounds, 50 pounds, 60 pounds. I give up. I'm going to be out of my 600-pound life. I don't want that for you. I don't want you to get to the point that you're so frustrated that you want to give up. I want you to really sit down, break it down. I've done a show on just picking one goal and just riding that horse until it's dead. You know, versus trying to chase all these different things. Pick one thing, crush it, and then move on to the next thing. Because one of the reasons why we quit is that we psych ourselves out. We start looking at all the effort and the time that it's going to take for us to actually hit our goal. And we're like, well, I don't know if I can go to the gym for 4 hours. I don't know if I don't know if I can cook. I don't know. And then all of a sudden you like whip yourself into the frenzy and you've talked yourself out of it and your ego's like, yeah, girl, you shouldn't be doing that. You got it. You know exactly that you shouldn't be doing that. So we want to make sure that we clear the path, that we make the path so smooth that it's like our ego doesn't even know what's happening. Our ego doesn't even have a chance to be afraid. Our ego is like, yeah, we can do this. We can do this. And the last thing is politeness. You know, we don't want to ruffle feathers, especially us women. We're, you know, like, you know, I remember when I was a kid, my grandfather would say, children should be seen and not heard. And you're like, what does that mean? And meanwhile, my sister and I are like running around like banshees, screaming. And that, some people take that to heart, and that becomes a story. I should be seen and not heard. And I have a client who, her in-laws are big drinkers. And she's been trying to lose weight for a really long time, and the alcohol just is not going to help her. And so she's like, well, when they come over to my house, I gotta have a drink with them. No, you don't. No, you don't. And, some people make you feel bad about your choices because it's a reflection on them. So, slowly over the years, she's like, no, I'm good. And she'll have a club soda, she'll have something, just so that she'll make her drink in the kitchen so that she doesn't have to hear it anymore. But if you have something that isn't in your values and you say no, it's okay. It's okay to say no. It's okay to stand up for yourself. It's okay to be seen and heard. So I just want you to keep trying. It's all about the incremental steps. And I will be back on the 23rd of January, and I'm going to be talking about eating healthy and loving it. But in the meantime, if you guys have any questions, you can find me at on Facebook, Kim Jefferson Coach. You can find me Instagram, same thing, Kim Jefferson Coach. But if you have any questions or comments or anything like that, feel free to shoot me an email at squadleader@fabfitsquad.com. But it's been awesome, and I will see you on the 23rd when we're talking about eating healthy and loving it. Have a fabulous evening.